Thank you very much. Appreciate your attention. We'll make it quick so we don't, get in your groove too much. We're going to try and talk a little bit about Boom Startup, and then we're going to have each of our companies come up and give a little quick presentation about their company. So definitely thank you all for coming out tonight. So this is Boom Startup's 6th year, our 7th cohort that we're doing for Boom Startup. We're really excited about that. We just finished off our Park City class, which we had our demo day, I think it was a month ago, up in Park City with 5 companies. Great program that we ran up there. A couple things about that program that were very successful. All 5 of the companies up there raised money, which was a great success for Boom Startup. A couple of the companies did exceptionally well. We have RGSAT, which raised over $1 million. So congratulations to them. Our previous employee Jessica got hijacked by RGSAT for $1 million, so that was disappointing. But and then another company, Assessments, was really good on their fundraising. They just did an AngelList syndicate that opened 48 hours ago, and in 48 hours they raised right around $250,000. So they're really excited about that. That with the other money they raised, they'll be somewhere between $400,000 and $500,000. So we're really excited about how the Park City class ended up that we just finished up. So with our spring class, we opened up applications in January, and we reviewed probably right around somewhere between 700 and 800 companies that applied to the program or referred to us from different partners out in the community. So we reviewed a lot of companies and narrowed it down and selected the 8 companies that we'll show you tonight. They're going to be starting our program, which just started on Monday with the orientation. And one of the nice things this year also, for our third class in a row, is we have another female founder, which is very important to us, which we really like. We have a lot of success. We're excited about the female co-founders, so you'll hear from her. And one last announcement. Boom Startup this summer is launching our first EdTech Accelerator. Going to be launching in July, run by Steve Curtis. I don't know where Steve at. Yep, right up here, Steve Curtis, launching our EdTech Accelerator. Very excited about that. Just about finished. We're finishing up our fundraising for that. We've opened up our applications for our EdTech Accelerator. So if you know any companies or anyone that are in the EdTech space, please come and talk to us. Apply on the Boom Startup website. Talk to Steve Curtis. Whatever you need to do, we need to know about the EdTech companies. So without further ado, we're going to go into our companies. We're going to start off with Sam and Simple Citizen.
Thank you, Rob. So I am Sam, and this is Brady, and we are Simple Citizen. And we're here to disrupt the immigration law industry. Now, this is an industry that charges over $20.4 billion every year, and 66% of this are for cases just like my story. See, about a year ago, my wife Allie and I got married, and she's originally from South Korea, so we had to go through the green card application process. Now, I figured that I could just do the paperwork myself because my background is in tax accounting. The forms looked like a 1040. I figured, how hard can it be, right? So I finished the application, but before I turned it in, I wanted to just sit down with the lawyer and make sure everything was correct. So this lawyer looked at it for about 2 minutes, said, "Great job, this is awesome. Give me $500. And I was like, what the $500? Wait a minute, I did all the work. And it was in that moment that Simple Citizen was born. So we are taking the complex paperwork and the outdated application process, and we're converting it into a simple online questionnaire. So the same way that TurboTax takes mountains of tax code and condenses it into just an easy to navigate questionnaire, the Simple Citizen software asks our users a few basic questions about themselves and then takes those answers and uses them to populate an entire green card application. So we are about, to kind of validate our idea, we surveyed over 125 people, did 63 one-on-one interviews who have gone through this process before to validate our immigration model. We're about 70% done with our development. We're in beta testing. We're looking to launch in the next couple months. And we're fresh off our big wins, first place at the Utah Entrepreneurship Challenge and the Miller New Venture Challenge a few weeks ago. But most of all, we're just really excited to be a part of Boom Startup and just be plugged into this Utah network, an amazing community of incredible mentors and business professionals. So, thank you.
Thank you, Sam. All right, up next, we have Jack. Jack around here hiding? All right. This company's called MyFlightTrain. Flying Software Labs, MyFlightTrain. Great product, one of our furthest along companies. So here's to you, Jack.
Thanks. Okay. So it gets confusing because Flying Software Labs has been around 4 years, but that's our shipping product that we've had for a couple of years. So I'm Jack Rosell, Flying Software Labs. What we do is automate the complexity of general aviation. So all the back office, billing, FAA compliance, things of that nature. Obviously, we're doing this through the web, through a SaaS model and mobile apps. And most of the companies where we go in, or colleges or businesses, they're using paper. They're using QuickBooks. They're using spreadsheets. So it's a pretty big mess when they get in there. The FAA audits them, they get fined. The TSA comes in and audits them, and they get fined. So we're solving all those problems. So general aviation is flight training. It's pilot services, and it's all the charter jet things that some of you in this room take charter jets, and you know all about that. So that's what we're automating. The bottom line is we have 20 customers right now in 30 locations. We're in our hockey stick growth on this product, MyFlightTrain. We expect a 3x revenue on this in the next 6 months and 10x revenue on that in the next 12 months. And the other thing that we're doing is we're formally rolling out a charter jet product hopefully later this year. And that will help automate and drive revenues even higher because those guys will pay 10x what these guys are paying. So that's what we're doing. Kind of fun to be in aviation. It's pretty complex and messy, but that's why people pay us to solve those problems. So. Good.
All right, this next company, Parakeet, when Brad first started talking about the problem, I actually was able to immediately, I told him what the problem was because I experienced this problem just recently right before I talked to him. So, introducing Parakeet, Brad.
Thanks, Rob. Hi, I'm Brad Huber, and we are Parakeet. We do home automation for vacation rentals. And vacation rentals are awesome. Maybe you've stayed at an Airbnb property or a HomeAway property, and you can get a great place maybe on the beach or whatever. And when you book one of those, if you can imagine that you're a traveler for a moment, a lot of things can go wrong. Okay, you can show up at the property, and you're supposed to meet the property manager. They're supposed to let you in, but maybe they got their schedule mixed up and they forget to show up. So you're stuck there waiting on the doorstep for a couple of hours while you're waiting for a key to get into the property. That actually happened to one of our team members on their honeymoon. And so there's problems in space, and so you can see from the traveler side from that story. You can also see from the property manager side, because the property managers, they have a lot of properties, but they can't be everywhere at once. And so they don't know if the previous traveler left the heat up high and they're paying big dollars for that. They don't know if they left the heat too low, and now they maybe are going to have a freeze and find out a week later after the property is flooded. And so we're solving these problems at Parakeet as through home automation. The devices that we have are locks, and so you can get guests can get a key code, they can get into the lock without exchanging keys. We're also doing thermostats and flood sensors, so we can be aware of a problem before it happens. You can also remotely control the heat, save on your bill. We're doing a garage door controller. And it's all a SaaS model. We're also making money on the hardware. Park City is a big rental market, and some of the property managers up there are so excited about our product that they've put 80 properties on our paid beta. And then they're looking to roll the solution out to hundreds of their properties after the beta. And the market size is pretty big. So there's about 10 million vacation homes in the U.S. that are rented out. And so these are second homes. People are not at them all the time. Great market for our type of product. We can really solve a problem. So that's it. We're Parakeet. Glad to be here at Boom Startup. Thank you.
All right, our next company, TrapCare now. is an industry that I'm very familiar with in my past life and my past companies. So I'm really excited to have Gary West and TrapCare now.
My colleagues here, Scott, I don't know where Mark is. So we're from TrapCare now. We develop web-based labor management systems for the healthcare organizations. Our team has spent the last 20 years as healthcare operators and owners of long-term care facilities, and it was working with these organizations and the challenges that we were running into where we developed this software. The challenge that every operator of a nursing home runs into are these rising costs of labor. In America, today we're in that baby boom. Every day 10,000 Americans turn the age of 65. I think I met a couple of you tonight. So 10,000 every day, and according to CMS, 70% of these seniors will need some form of long-term care. That's our market. Now, the challenges that we run into is the challenge that every nursing home runs into. And rising labor costs have skyrocketed, and reimbursement by the government and payers has declined as well. So our solution focuses in on the cost of labor. Now, the average nursing home with our solution will save over $25,000 a month in reducing labor. And we do that by reducing overtime, making sure that it's not overstaffed, things of that sort. It's a SaaS model. Now, our model is a SaaS subscription, monthly subscription of around $500 to $900 a month, and we can save an organization about $25,000 a month. So it's very profitable for them, and we're really excited. We've got some great traction. We've got about a half a dozen facilities on using TrapCare now. We have 30 in line that we should have enrolled and utilizing the facilities or the software within the next 2 months. And we're on track to get well over 200 facilities by 1 year at this point. So we're TrapCare now. Appreciate it. Thanks.
So the next company, Prism XKB Press, is actually was a member of the Special Forces. We just brought him in here for security. But so don't mess with Press. So anyway, Press McCormick, Prism XKB.
We solved the problem of moving from an annual performance appraisal system to continuous coaching of your high revenue people. We do this by providing a suite of mobile apps that capture performance in real time and provide actionable data that build more resilient teams. Our model is based on 10 years and 35,000 assessments at the U.S. Army Special Forces Assessment Selection Program, more commonly known as the Green Berets at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. We use a direct sales SaaS model. We charge between $20 and $40 per month per user. We have 2 paying customers right now, Air Force Special Operations Command, in particular their Pararescue Initial Training Program, and we're happy to announce that on 12 May we're going to be expanding that program with them. We also have Temper Sealing, which is using it to coach their sales force. We're in the process of migrating to AWS and getting the app approved for both iOS and Android store. Once we do that, we'll launch programs with MasterCard, LegalZoom, Jones Lang LaSalle, National Credit, and ARS, which is the largest plumbing company in the U.S. We consider ourselves very fortunate and humbled to be a part of the program, and we appreciate everyone's support. Thank you.
All right, our next company based in is our one company from outside of Utah. They're from Boise, Idaho, a state where I come from. So we're happy to have Ryan based in.
Thank you very much. We are proud to be here. Like Rob said, we're based in Boise, but for the next 3 months we'll be based in Salt Lake. We do love it, even though it's been snowing all day. So imagine for a second you're looking for a new mechanic or a new veterinarian. What are you going to do? So most people are going to ask their friends, and then 95% of us are eventually going to go online and look at reviews, look at accreditation, maybe possibly look for a coupon or some type of deal. Then after you do all that, then you still have to compare competitors and hope that you pick the right company. Based-in simplifies this process. Based-in is a recommendation engine that scores local businesses on their online reputation. We score businesses in over 80 categories, including health and wellness, pets, automotive, home repair, and lots more. So what we do is we gather all the information available on all the platforms that you already love and trust. Facebook, Google, Better Business Bureau. We crank that information through an algorithm, and we score businesses on their overall online reputation. So for the first time, consumers within seconds can see the reputation of a company across all the platforms. Businesses love this too. For the first time, they have business profile pages that automatically update their information, all of their information in one spot. It's literally like a living billboard of all their accomplishments. Now, when we say this, a lot of people ask like the two main questions: how are you going to make money, and how are people going to come to this site? They're very common questions for a site like ours. We have one solution. So what happens is the business pays $100 to advertise on our site. That's nothing new. What we do is we turn around and spend 70 of those dollars advertising that business's profile page on Facebook and Google. Thus, for a business, they're happy because they're able to advertise on multiple sites. But for us, we're even happier because we're turning Facebook and Google traffic into new based-in users, and we're getting paid for it. As far as traction goes, we've got a lot of good traction. So in 2015, we've already raised $120,000, and overall, we've already raised $195,000. We're happy to announce in the next 4 or 5 days, we'll be relaunching Based-in 4 cities, including Based-in Salt Lake. And finally, by the time we finish this program, Based-in will be nationwide in over 100 different cities. Thank you very much.
All right, the next company, Pattern Jam. This is our female co-founder we have. We're very proud she's here. We love her product, very niche product. I feel like there's a great opportunity. We're going to see you, Emily.
I am so glad to be the only female. No, I don't know that I'm so glad about that, but it is kind of fun. Now, I also happen to represent probably the most exclusively demographically female industry as well. Any guesses about what that might be? How about the quilt industry? Okay, so I'm in the quilt industry, and Pattern Jam is a SaaS business model, and it provides tools for users, consumers of quilt fabric, to come on and create a great quilt pattern and audition designer fabric in the quilt pattern. Now the quilt industry it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and there are almost 17 million dedicated quilters in the United States and many millions more worldwide. Pattern Jam is the only website that is solving a very common problem that every quilter experiences, and that is producing an ugly quilt because they can't visualize. We've all seen the ugly quilts, right? They can't visualize what the finished product will look like. So Pattern Jam is providing really simple, basic tools so that users can come on the website and, as I said, create a great quilt pattern and be able to see it before they spend $300 on a quilt. I'm working with manufacturers and retailers in the industry who are really excited to partner with Pattern Jam, and my user base is growing weekly. We've just launched a few months ago, but we're getting great response from the quilters. In fact, so much so that I attended a show in Austin, Texas, and I had quilters coming up and hugging me and thanking me for coming up with this for them. So now one of the questions that they always ask too is, now how are you going to make money with this? And I say, well, I'm not right now, but I'm going to. Anyway, I am super excited to be a part of Boom, and I am really excited to be the female representative. So thanks a lot.
For our last company, they just changed their name, and we're hoping maybe they change it again, because I'm not sure how to pronounce that. 23SO. They'll let you know. Anyway, this company we're really excited about. Every year, for the last few years, we've had a medical life science type of company The first one that we did this with was 2 Genomics, which has been phenomenally successful. You've probably read about it in the multiple rounds they've raised in their funding. Reed is on their advisory board, which we're very, very excited about. We're very excited that Reed is on their advisory board. Very complex product. We have one of our best mentors, George Simon, helping mentor them. Is going to work with them to help bring it to market. We'll introduce, let him explain it if he can. Dan. All right.
I'm Dan, and this is T3S Technologies. So it is a complex topic, but it affects every one of us, and it's crucial for our future. So what we do is we make recombinant proteins much cheaper, much faster, much better. We developed this system at the university, right? And if you don't know what recombinant proteins are, these are targeted therapeutics. These are the drugs of tomorrow, right? If you're taking a cancer medication, for instance, you may know it as Avastin, right? Or Humira, you may have heard of Humira as well, right? The problem is that the cost of these drugs are outrageous. For a single dose of Lucentin, a recombinant protein, it can cost $2,000, right? For a treatment plan, it can cost upwards to $300,000. This model is just simply unsustainable. And with the growth of the biologics market, these recombinant proteins, we need a system that can handle the manufacturing of them. And that's what we do. That's what we did at T3S Technologies. We use a bacterial system to do this. It reduces the manufacturing time, and it reduces the manufacturing cost in equipment as well, right? And we're through preliminary studies. We have 2 published papers out. We have a patent out on this, and nobody knows how to do this better than we do. Nobody. Thank you.
We're always happy to have a PhD as part of our program, so you can help us out. So, just to finish up, I want to point out a couple of people. Some of the partners of Boom Startup, myself, Rob Gallup, we have Steve Smith, who's doing the EdTech Accelerator, Ryan Smith up there, he may or may not wave to you if you know, right there, right? And then, of course, the founder of Boom Startup, Rob Coons up there. A couple of things I'd like to mention. We're definitely appreciative of the mentors that will come out and spend their time. It's what makes the Boom Startup program successful. Are the mentors, the experts that come in and work with these companies on a daily and weekly basis. I'd also like to thank Five Wives. They sponsored your drinks tonight. So thanks to Five Wives and Austin. And lastly, we also want to recognize Zions Bank. They do a lot of sponsorship for entrepreneur programs, and they're a big sponsor of Boom Startup and the entrepreneurs of this party. And very happy for them. And then also the Hub for sponsoring us here tonight. Co-working space just opened a couple of weeks ago. Open co-working space in the center areas, when the office is on the outside, just been open for a couple of weeks. I'd like to thank them. So anyway, thank you all for coming tonight. Enjoy the drinks, get to know the companies a little bit more, and we'll see you guys on our demo day in 3 months.
Yeah.